Right now, at this moment, explosions have been heard in Bandar Abbas port in Iran. A big development here, and new threats escalates in the Middle East tensions. The explosions reportedly occurred near Bandar Abbas, an area associated with the first naval zone of Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps.
Before dawn, the waters around Bandar Abbas were already turning into a battlefield. Iranian naval forces, including the Sahand and supporting warships, stood on alert, preparing for possible action in the Strait of Hormuz. But what Tehran did not know was that the United States had already moved first. In the darkness beyond the horizon, destroyers and submarines had begun launching a strike package designed to cripple Iran's naval power before a single missile could be fired. Within minutes, the harbor would become a graveyard of burning warships, drone carriers, and shattered missile batteries. This was not a warning shot. This was a preemptive strike designed to break Iran's ability to threaten Hormuz in a single morning. The first blow comes from far beyond the horizon. Hidden in the darkness of the Gulf, U.S. destroyers and attack submarines begin launching Tomahawk cruise missile strikes toward Bandar Abbas and the naval forces preparing near the Strait of Hormuz. Flying at extremely low altitude, the missiles skim over the water and coastline, staying below radar coverage for as long as possible. Using terrain-matching guidance and onboard target recognition systems, the strike package locks onto Iranian warships before they can move into combat position. Within moments, the first missiles slam into the harbor, targeting high-value naval assets and missile-capable vessels. This is not a warning shot. It is a preemptive strike designed to cripple Iran's naval power before the battle in Hormuz even begins. The first target is the Sahand, positioned near Bandar Abbas and preparing for possible deployment into the Strait of Hormuz. Before the crew can even bring its Nor anti-ship missiles into firing readiness, the incoming Tomahawk cruise missile reaches the harbor. Seconds later, the missile tears into the frigate with a massive explosion, igniting ammunition stores and sending fire across the deck. The blast rips through the vessel before it can launch a single missile, instantly turning one of Iran's frontline warships into a burning wreck. For the harbor, this is the moment the preemptive strike becomes a full-scale naval disaster. As flames from the Sahand rise over the harbor, the second Tomahawk cruise missile races toward its next target, the Sabalan. Thick smoke and burning debris now cover much of Bandar Abbas, making target identification far more difficult. Despite the confusion, the missile's guidance system locks onto the warship and slams directly into the vessel. The explosion tears through the hull, triggering secondary blasts along the deck and disabling the ship before it can leave port. Within minutes, two of Iran's major surface combatants are either burning or sinking in the harbor. The naval strike has now moved from a surprise attack to a systematic destruction of Iran's frontline fleet. But even as the harbor burns, Iran moves to retaliate. From a nearby drone carrier platform, waves of Shahed, 136 drones are launched into the night sky. One after another, the drones rise from the deck and turn toward U.S. warships operating beyond the coastline. Designed as long-range loitering strike drones, they move low and fast over the water, using their small radar signature to make interception more difficult. Their mission is clear strike destroyers, support ships, and carrier assets before the U.S. fleet can complete the attack. What began as a harbor strike is now turning into a full-scale naval and aerial confrontation over the Strait of Hormuz. The response comes within seconds. As the Shahed 136 drones race toward the fleet, a U.S. fighter locks onto the lead target. Moments later, an AIM-9 Sidewinder is launched into the darkness. Guided by its infrared seeker, the missile homes in on the drone's heat signature and strikes it midair. A bright flash erupts over the water as the drone breaks apart and falls into the Gulf. The interception confirms that the battle has now fully expanded into the airspace above the Strait of Hormuz. But more drones are still inbound. the source of the drone attack is quickly identified. Just off the Iranian coastline, an Iranian drone carrier vessel remains active, acting as a mobile launch base for waves of Shahed 136 drones. The ship serves as a floating drone command platform, storing launch rails, guidance systems, fuel, and additional strike drones below deck. From this vessel, Iran can rapidly launch drones toward U.S. destroyers, carriers, and support ships operating near the Strait of Hormuz. As long as this platform remains afloat, the threat to the U.S. fleet continues. This instantly makes the drone carrier the next priority target in the battle, but Iran's air defenses are not silent for long. Near the harbor, a Tor M1 battery suddenly activates, locking onto a U.S. jet diving toward its target. Within seconds, the launcher fires a 9M331 surface-to-air missile, streaking upward through the smoke-filled sky. The missile climbs rapidly toward the aircraft, forcing the pilot into an immediate high-G evasive maneuver. The jet banks hard, pulling a sharp turn while releasing a burst of flares to confuse the incoming missile's tracking system. For a moment, the entire air operation over Bandar Abbas hangs in the balance. This is Iran's attempt to break the coalition's air superiority and protect what remains of its naval assets. By now, Bandar Abbas has become a harbor of fire. Thick black smoke from the destroyed frigates and burning fuel tanks now blankets the entire port, reducing visibility to almost nothing. Radar guidance becomes unreliable as smoke, heat distortion, and electronic jamming begin interfering with targeting systems. Instead of breaking off the attack, the U.S. pilot pushes lower, diving beneath the smoke layer and flying directly into the harbor kill zone. Below, Iranian forces continue firing from small arms positions and shoulder-launched missiles, turning the approach into a deadly corridor. Through the smoke, the pilot visually confirms multiple naval targets still trapped inside the port and releases precision-guided bombs. Seconds later, explosions rip through the remaining ships and dockside military positions, turning the harbor into a graveyard of shattered hulls and burning wreckage. This is the moment the strike transforms Bandar Abbas from an active naval base into a battlefield ruin. But even as Bandar Abbas burns, the fight is far from over. From side channels and hidden coastal inlets, IRGC swarm boats surge into the Strait of Hormuz. Small, fast, and heavily maneuverable, these attack craft are built for close-range naval warfare. Instead of fighting in formation, they spread out across the water, weaving between commercial tankers and civilian vessels to make targeting more difficult. Armed with short-range anti-ship missiles, rockets, and heavy machine guns, their objective is to overwhelm larger U.S. ships through numbers and speed. This is Iran's swarm doctrine in action, dozens of small boats attacking from multiple directions at once, turning the narrow waters of Hormuz into a deadly trap. By the end of the strike, Bandar Abbas is no longer a functioning naval base. It has become a graveyard of warships. Burning wrecks of the Sahand and Sabalan remain scattered across the harbor, while damaged drone carrier platforms and destroyed dock facilities continue to burn through the night. Missile batteries, air defense sites, and naval support structures have been reduced to debris. What was once one of Iran's most important military ports now stands shattered under the weight of the preemptive strike. But the battle is not over. Several drones were already launched before the carrier was hit, and some IRGC swarm boats managed to escape into the shallow waters and island channels of the Strait of Hormuz. The harbor may be destroyed, but the threat in Hormuz still remains. And that means the next battle is about to begin. Bandar Abbas may have fallen, but Hormuz is still a battlefield.